Namaskar and welcome. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in the northeast over the last 2 days. On Monday, he was in Sikkim, where he declared the state as an organic state and that the government is leaving no stone unturned to fulfill the development aspirations of the northeast to ensure all-round development. In Gangtok, Prime Minister visited an exhibition of organic products and interacted with organic farmers, which he saw as the Northeast is a hub for this, is what he said. And while interacting with state agriculture ministers, the Prime Minister talked about the Prime Minister's Fasal Bima Yojana and how it would give security cover for farmers, emphasizing also on organic farming, soil health card, other agriculture initiatives and also Swachh Bharat. And he called Sikkim a model state, in fact, for the world.
जब दुनिया में जैविक उत्पादन की बड़ी मांग है, कृषि उत्पादन की एक बहुत बड़ा मार्केट है और एक प्रकार से जीरो कॉस्ट कृषि की तरफ जाने का जो अभियान कुछ लोग चलाते हैं, उसके अनुकूल भी है। हम व्यूहात्मक दृष्टि से स्ट्रेटेजिकली राज्य का कोई एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट पकड़े, पहले तय करेंगे एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट को पूरी तरह जैविक करेंगे। अगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट करने की ताकत नहीं तो एक ब्लॉक पकड़े, तालुका बोलते होंगे, ब्लॉक बोलते होंगे, जो बोलते होंगे, जिसमें 100, 125, 150 गांव हो, एक पूरा इलाका पकड़े और एक बार उस पूरे इलाके को करके दिखाएं।
In Assam, on Tuesday, the Prime Minister addressed a public meeting of tribal communities in Kokrajhar and also a youth rally in Khanapara in Guwahati. And he said that the government would fulfill the dreams of the people of the Northeast.
मैं आया हूं आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके यहां के लोगों की भलाई करने के लिए। मैं आया हूं आपके बीच में, आपके पास जो शक्ति है, सामर्थ्य है, आपके पास जो सपने हैं, आप जो नौजवान हैं, उन सबको एक अवसर मिले और वो विकास की नई ऊंचाइयों को पार करें। आपके सपनों को संजोने के लिए मैं अपने आप को जोड़ने के लिए आया हूं।
Government has set a target of connecting all the capitals of the northeastern states by rail by 2020, and connectivity has always been a major problem in the northeast terrain. But once this is done, the economy would also get a big boost. Prime Minister highlighted the priority of this project.
जब रास्ते बनेंगे, रास्तों का नेटवर्क बनेगा। सिर्फ रास्ते बनते ऐसे नहीं, जब बनते हैं तब इतने लोगों को काम मिलता है, उनके लिए रोजी रोटी घर के सामने आके खड़ी हो जाती है। रेल का काम तेज गति से बढ़ रहा है। यहां पर ब्रॉडगेज बनाना एक सबसे बड़ा काम है और जब तक ब्रॉडगेज का काम नहीं होता, हिंदुस्तान के और हिस्सों से प्रगति के साथ वो जुड़ नहीं पाते हैं। हमने इस पर बल दिया है। सबसे ज्यादा बजट आज सरकार इस पर लगा रही है।
Prime Minister also interacted with the youth of Assam, students of IIT, NIT and central universities of the Northeast. And he said that as India grows, FDI comes in and jobs are created. He said development is the solution to the problems of the Northeast.
इतने कम समय में आज देश में एफडीआई में, फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट में 40% की वृद्धि हुई है भाइयों, 40%। ये धन जो विदेश से आया है, ये धन जो विदेश से आने वाला है, वो किस काम आने वाला है? यहां उद्योग लगेंगे, यहां इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनेगा और सबसे बड़ी बात, यहां के नौजवान को रोजगार मिलेगा। देश के नौजवान को रोजगार चाहिए और इसलिए हमारी सरकार एक बात पर बहुत ध्यान केंद्रित करके आगे बढ़ रही है और वो बात है विकास, विकास और विकास। एक ही मुद्दा, विकास।
Well, and to put this visit into perspective for us, joining us in the studio is Jayanto Ghoshal. He's the editor of Ananda Bazar Patrika, based in Delhi, and Kalyan Barua, special correspondent with the Assam Tribune. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us. We'll start with you, Mr. Ghoshal. Well, we heard the Prime Minister there talking about organic farming. In fact, he said that if there is one strength that the Northeast has, it is organic farming. And when we look at the world today, you know, when chemical fertilizers are building up, the cost of that is building up, and not in terms of money, but in terms of its impact on the environment and on our products. Here's a model state, Sikkim, and for the rest of the Northeast also, that will show us a new way of life. How do you see this?
Number one, that, you know, there is a word, appropriate technology. Where is your strength? You have to explore that strength. Sikkim, the strength on this organic farming and whatever you were saying, that the opportunity for big industry can come from that organic sector. So Prime Minister is emphasizing on that strength area where Sikkim has that strength.
Yes.
So, and later he said development. This organic statehood and this development, this is also complementary to each other.
Yes.
I mean, development, you are talking about job opportunity, you are talking about development. This development job opportunity cannot come without the industry. Now, what is industry? In Sikkim, what type of industry? That is the appropriate technology, and in Sikkim, that is the organic sector.
Sure.
So that's why it is relevant.
Mr. Barua, throw some light as to, you know, how important all this is in Sikkim, because we people have not seen the state as such. And, you know, also there are 3 new orchids were named when the Prime Minister was there. One was Cymbidium Sardar, Lycastic Deen Dayal, and Cymbidium Namo. You know, these were 3 different kinds. So you see, I mean, apart from that, there's floriculture that has huge potential, horticulture has huge potential, and all this organic. Yeah.
See, Sikkim, in a very smart move, way back in 2003, it decided to go organic. Now, the state has around 75,000 hectares of land which are into organic production. Now, they have clusters where the organic food is been done in a very systematic and planned manner, and the entire state plans to go organic.
Right.
And the Prime Minister also in 2014, in his speech replying to this President's debate, had said that entire Northeast should be declared as an organic state.
Right.
So you see, Northeastern states particularly have a huge potential for organic culture. For example, tea industry has already gone. Most of the tea gardens now in Assam as well as in Sikkim have gone into organic production. So we in the
but what is the why has this happened? The farmers there have not gone taken up the chemical route at all. When you know it was probably available to them. Or what would you say?
Yes, actually the land there is very fertile.
That's
because of the climatic conditions. The rains, we have about long span of monsoon. So and then the floods, and the floods when they recede leaves the land very fertile.
Sure.
So the farmer there, as we understand in Northeast, so the northern India are not so much dependent on fertilizers and chemicals. So the organic farming is a way of life which after some time fell into disuse, but they again started reviving it because of the cost of production is one of the factors that needs to be taken care of.
Sure. Mr. Ghoshal, the other aspect is infrastructure. Now, infrastructure has always been a problem in the Northeast, given again the terrain. And now, of course, the focus on these state capitals being linked by railway network first, and also the Prime Minister complimented on the speed of which roads are being built in the Northeast. How do you see this, first of all? How important is this connectivity problem being sorted out?
The first thing is that Prime Minister repeatedly he is saying about this federal India. You know, you see, Delhi is not India. Even we give more importance to the sometimes western sector, northern sector of this country, but northeast population, there is a strong sense of alienation in that region. And we have seen lot of movement also, separatist movement also. If you go into the details, you will find the main reason that there is a strong sense of alienation because the development and non-development, that polarization is very strong with northeast and the other part of the country. So when earlier there was no northeast ministry.
Sure.
Now we have a northeast ministry, and Prime Minister, he has visited northeast within 1.5 years, I think several times. So now Prime Minister is giving emphasis on northeast, election or no election.
Yes.
Assam election is coming,
Sure.
but Prime Minister visited northeast long back.
Okay.
And in Tripura, now you are exploring power sector.
Right.
You talked about infrastructure, roads.
Right.
Bajpayee ji, when he was Prime Minister, he did a major project to connect the northeast also with the highways. But you know, the interstate, earlier it was 7 sisters, now 8 sisters,
Yes.
and
7
8
sisters and 1 brother.
plus
because
one
Sikkim is
brother,
not-
one brother,
Sikkim
Sikkim
is
brother.
not directly
And you know, this
linked.
Sikkim visit, strategic position is also very important. Nathula Pass was there,
Right.
is there, and you know, this visit is politically, diplomatically is also very significant, and this emphasis on northeast and with the infrastructure, with the development, with the slogan of job opportunity, I think it's a good initiative.
Right.
I think it's a welcome initiative.
Mr. Barua, talking about that alienation bit that Mr. Ghoshal had raised, and well, the government has put this initiative on also of ministers regularly visiting the northeast, and also, you know, communications and checking out also that projects are being delivered, developed. A lot of problems were that, you know, lots were sanctioned, but we didn't see things happening. Right. Now we can see the Prime Minister is also talking about the speed of road development and, you know, constantly talking about that rail network that is going to happen by 2020. So it's important to put all this into perspective, and the way that the central government has also ended the alienation, because after all, what is the northeast has more international borders. It's only through Siliguri that it's connected to the rest of India, isn't it?
Yes,
So it's
2%
extremely important to understand that.
Yeah, actually, the problem of northeast is one of the major problem is connectivity. Connectivity not with the mainland India, the so-called mainland India, connectivity within the region itself.
Yes.
Now today it is very difficult from one capital, state capital to reach another state capital. For example, if you want to move from Guwahati to Imphal, capital of Manipur, by road, it takes you around 24 hours, more than that by road. Now the air connectivity is another problem. So this problem of connectivity within the region and the region with the mainland India, so-called mainland India, has led to a sense of alienation, no doubt about it. And then this sense of alienation has led to so many problems. Like we have the problem of insurgency. The insurgents find it this sense of alienation as the favorite topic. And it is one of the favorite issues, one of the favorite subjects, and one of the favorite factors which helps them.
Right.
Because
Yes.
to lure the youths,
Sure.
and to add to that, there is a huge unemployment problem in Northeast because
Right.
no private investment is going. The government is the only major
Right.
employer. So the militants in that sense finds it very easy to lure people, and that this alienation is a major factor.
Okay.
No doubt about it. The interconnectivity is another factor.
Right. So talking about the problem of unemployment, Mr. Ghoshal, Prime Minister did say what? FDI is going to come in, we're going to create new infrastructure. Everyone wants jobs, obviously, but in this particular sector, this is part of the Act East policy.
Yeah.
The Act East policy, for it to be successful, the Northeast has to be the hub, in a sense, or the gateway. And for that will definitely generate, first of all, FDI and then also create jobs.
I'm telling you a very interesting anecdote. When Dr. Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister, his first visit was in Bangkok, BIMSTEC conference. For that time it was Look East policy. The interesting thing is that I'm from Calcutta, so a lot of people were asking that Calcutta, the general perception was in Bangkok that Calcutta is the northeast area of this country.
Right.
So there is a major misconception that eastern region of this country And the northeast region of the country is completely different. Even sitting Delhi, a lot of people, they misunderstand that they think that east and northeast, culturally they are different, politically they are different.
Sure.
So the more focus on northeast states for Act East policy, why it is important, now the government is realizing, and you know, not only Bangladesh and not only Myanmar, this Myanmar, Bangladesh, these are the neighboring countries where this Act East policy will be the immediate beneficiaries, will be those neighboring states, and lot of happenings are there.
Sure.
Bangladesh ministers, they are traveling northeast area very frequently.
Right.
But the other part of this world, through those neighboring countries, through Act East policy, we can reach to the Europe and the other part of this world.
Sure.
Our export, import, and even what Kalyan was mentioning about the road infrastructure, there is a major scheme to connect those regions, not only India and the neighboring countries through roads.
Yes.
There is a major projects, and
Yes.
it is on. So I think Prime Minister's prioritization
Correct.
on this visit, I think it is very timely, and it is highly needed in this hour.
Mr. Barua, the other focus of the Prime Minister was, you know, when he was speaking to students of IIT and, you know, the younger generation, the youth, he talked about India being a knowledge center. You know, and the world is now moving, the country which leads in the knowledge industry will lead the world. And this, people are talking about how this is going to be India's century. So another aspect of the Northeast is that it has very high literacy rates. It has great potential in this area as well in terms of information technology. Yes. And this is one sector that can develop quite strongly in the Northeast, isn't it? One industry.
Yes, yes. Education sector, since literacy, Mizoram leads the northeastern states, it's almost 100% literacy. The problem is that we in Northeast do not have good education institution. That is
Right.
perhaps one of the reasons why so many students from the Northeast have to come out of the region after doing their graduation or for post-graduation or PhD.
Sure.
Now, IIM was set up in Shillong, IIT in Guwahati. These are and there are a couple of central universities. But the standard of education, and we need more education. Given the literacy rate, we need more education institutions in Northeast, so that the students, and then these students who come out of the region, seldom, I mean, more than 2, 3, 4% returns back to the region.
Right.
So as such, the region doesn't gain much.
Sure.
So in order to tap our own potential, we need to have very, very good institutions in Northeast itself.
Right.
Perhaps in that sense, the Prime Minister was right.
Right.
So if we set up more education institutions, for example, he went to IIT Guwahati to set up a permanent complex. He laid
Yes.
the foundation stone today. So one IIT, one IIM perhaps would not do, given the literacy rate and the aspiration of the students, because there are some states which do not have proper medical institutions.
Sure.
We need medical institutions more, because the public health is not in a good shape there.
Sure.
So these are the factors. The education institutions are needed, and then we need good professionals.
Mr. Ghoshal, this is an election year in Assam, and there has political realignment that's taken place. We can see the forces have developed. And how do you foresee this then also from the Prime Minister's point of view of the way he addressed it, you know, not in terms of an election rally, but understanding that, you know, the aspirations of the people are very important?
There is a popular perception that BJP is always, they use this politics of polarization. But Prime Minister's visit, what he is saying, if we assess, if we interpret, that Prime Minister has said that my main agenda and only agenda is development.
Yes, you use the word 3 times, development,
Three
development,
times, development. So this campaign, I hope that in this coming Assam election, this politics of polarization will not be the focal point of our concern, but this development, if Prime Minister's slogan, if they can materialize that slogan into politics in the Assam election, that can be a major election agenda also. I think development, the time has come to set our new agenda for the new generation.
Sure.
And I think Assam people also will be happy to see if the development will be the main agenda.
So, Mr. Barua, do you think that Assam is now moving into election mode with the Prime Minister's first his address to two or three different places, huge rallies? How do you look at it?
Yeah, in a way, Assam has moved, already gone into the election mode. Rahul Gandhi was there last month. He sort of kicked off the election really for the Congress party. The Prime Minister did that today. So now in this the Assam issues, as far the issues are concerned, he was talking about development. Development has always been a major issue.
Sure.
But then there are other political aspects as well, like the problem of illegal migration from Bangladesh. There's the problem of huge flood and erosion problem. There's the problem of militancy, though it's on the wane in Assam now, because the major militant outfit has come, Alpha has come for talks with Government of India. So that has, in a way, the people are also expecting for the government of India to do something for them, because the flood is a huge problem there, and then the state government has not been able to do much, saying that they run out of resources. So it's a huge problem. And the development issues are concerned, as far as the development issues, the industries, there are no private investment going, as I said earlier. The industrial package that was announced is also lying, has been almost lying in defunct state.
Sure.
So the government, the people of Assam are looking towards Government of India, the center particularly, to revive the industrialization. Otherwise, these are industries, the private industries are the ones which are going to employ people, and there are a huge unemployment.
Mr. Ghoshal, development itself, when we look at the Northeast, in fact, the Prime Minister did also mention this is a place rich in natural resources, and development should be taking place here first. It's a natural thing. I mean, if you have all the resources, development has to happen.
Yeah.
But it's not happening.
And Mr. Tarun Gogoi has a strong disadvantage that already has made hat-trick. So
that is
the strong anti-incumbency is a law of nature. So now the opposition will raise the questions that what development you have given to the people of Assam. So always this is a very difficult war when you have to defend yourself, because you are in power. So and it is very difficult to get another term after making hat-trick. So I think that challenge is the main challenge of Mr. Tarun Gogoi now.
Mr. Barua, also the Prime Minister said that, you know, Assam can be the place for the second green revolution. That's because, of course, it's got plenty of water and it's, you said, fertile soil, but it also needs technology. That's the only thing that's lacking, is what the Prime Minister said. So that can be provided, and, you know, the second green revolution can take place in Assam.
Yeah, second green revolution, for example, Assam has, which earlier used to import rice, is now self-sufficient in rice for the last couple of years. So if but then unfortunately we have only one agriculture university, that is in Assam, and then the other states, and then the hilly terrain of the other northeastern hill states, because they have to go for terrace cultivation, but most of them practice jhum cultivation. So, but then if they shift from rice cultivation to easy cash crops like oranges, pineapples, they are very popular. Pineapple production is good, and the pineapples the quality is good. So the innovations are required, and it can become like Assam showed the way. We had to impose rice. We are now self-sufficient in rice. So there are a lot of scope for Assam or the northeastern states to have a second green revolution.
Right. So, Mr. Ghoshal, when they talk about development of the Northeast, I mean, not only of Assam, it's the Prime Minister said what he was talking about, all-round development, balanced growth and development, and he also used that it's not scattered, it's interlinked. Whatever policies are meant to be interlinked, that means the Northeast is interlinked. So, I mean, if it's specifically we're talking about Assam, or we go to Sikkim and we talk about organic farming, it's basically for the entire Northeast.
Because what Kalyan also raised, that the communication is not only Northeast and the other part of this country. It is basically among the internal communication was also very bad in Northeast states. So if it is an integrated development scheme, and the perspective of
Right.
Prime Minister is basically what I interpret after listening his speech, that he is trying to interlink,
Right.
integrate all the state developments, because Sikkim has a focus.
Sure.
Assam has a different focus, Tripura
Right.
is a different focus, but there should be a thread,
Yes.
and that thread of development can connect the northeast states,
Okay.
and one side the international area, and the other side the part of the country, other
Sure.
States. So there will be a integrated approach of
So we've run short of time, but Mr. Barua, one final word. How do you see the Prime Minister's visit, and what is it likely to do for the Northeast in the short term, at least?
Yeah, it's a good development because he announced a couple of measures in Kokrajhar. The Bodoland, the area such as has been in turmoil.
Yes.
They first wanted to secede from India. They wanted to form a separate country. Now they have scaled it down to a separate state, Bodoland state. Now there the people have a lot of aspirations, as well as in other states. The package he announced today would go a long way in resolving some of the major issues, and perhaps help the ruling BPF to which runs the BTAD there.
Right.
So
they are in alliance with the BJP now for
they
the
were
next
expecting
election.
some financial grant of around 1,000 crores, which I believe has been sanctioned. That's what the Boro leaders claimed. And then there were other schemes which he announced.
Sure.
So it should go a long way.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us here on Late Edition. Well, the Northeast is a strategically important part of the country, with most of its borders being international boundaries, and is hence a key component of the Act East policy. It is one of the most literate parts of the country, with a literacy of about 4% higher than the national average of about 74%. And it also produces a number of the country's finest sports persons. As a region, it has some of the richest stock of natural resources in the country, and its culture is diverse and vibrant. Prime Minister complimented the speed of road construction now that's going on there, and also told the youth of Assam that they are powerful and energetic, and that Assam could bring about the second green revolution. Thanks very much for watching. Namaskar.